Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a new video. And today we are here to start a new series of Factorio. This is an awesome game that I played only once. I only finished this game once. And the first time I played the game, there was a few messed up things that I could have done better. And this time I want to try and go for the perfect base. So looking at the map, I think this is a great seed, right? If we wall off the west and the east area, like we make like a big wall, we could have the sea protecting us north. This could be a really great start. So let's get to it. First thing we do is we want to extract a few resources from the leftovers of our spaceship. And now the next thing we want to do is we want to head to the resources. You see on the top right of the map, those blue and orange and black spots are resources. All right, here we are. Oh, I should mention, I ramped up the resources to 150%, the rarity, the richness, and the size to 150% to give me a little bit of advantage. So the first thing we want to do is place our burner mining drill, and now we can start mining. Now another thing I want to do, I want to create another burner drill, because if I have two burner drills together, I can do something pretty cool. All right, so we have this furnace. We place our iron ore inside the furnace, and boom, it's making more copper plates, iron plates I mean. And now with these iron plates, we need a furnace, we need stone. Okay, we have stone right here. All right, here we go. We have another drill, and now a very cool thing to create lots of pollution. And who doesn't love a good bunch of pollution? With this setup, my left burner drill will deposit coal on the right burner drill, and the right burner drill will deposit coal on the left burner drill. And guess what they need? What's the fuel for burner drills? Well, you guessed it, it's coal. So basically what we have here is an infinite source of coal and an infinite source of pollution. Luckily for us, I don't see a lot of creatures around this area, so we're fine for now. Now we're going to need a lot of burner drills if you want to make like a setup for iron, for copper, and everything in between. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and here it is. We have the most basic setup of all. This start. We have one burner drill for copper, one burner drill over here for stone, if I can get there, and another burner drill right there for iron, and two burner drills for coal. There's a massive problem, pollution, but we're not stressing out for now. I think we're fine. The only problem with this setup is that I am the one moving around and putting coal on the burner drills and this and that. It's not good. So I think the next thing we need to start thinking about is electricity and electric mining drills. Because if we can't automate this, I don't need to be putting coal, and the electricity is very important. And we also need to start thinking about transport belts to create like a setup. So our next goal here is to get as many iron plates as I can, start creating transport belts to automate this system, and create a few furnaces to start automating this process. In my experience, when I played the first time the tutorial, at some point I realized that Factorio is a puzzle game. If you don't structure and if you don't think about how you want to build things, you will end up with a very, very big problem in the late game. So I think what I'm going to do with you guys right here is try to think about how I want to structure my base. And a very good thing that I just by looking at the map, the north part of our starting area is protected by water. This is really, really good. We can use and abuse this for defense. So I think my main idea is on the east side of the map and on the west side of the map, I will like wall things off, and I will use the north part as also protection. You see kind of this square right here? Can you visualize this with me? I will have to remove these cliffs right here, but that's fine. So this is the way I'm thinking right here. I think I'm going to use the north part of the map as the ore processing area, right? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I've built my first prototype. This is basically the prototype I used in my my first playthrough. It's very simple, right? So let me explain this. So this belt right here will, for example, bring iron ore or copper ore. And this belt right here from the top side will bring, for example, coal. And when these two merge, what happens is that the top side of the belt will have coal, and the bottom side of the map will have the resource I want to process, copper or iron. It could be also stone. And these little, what are they called? These inserters will grab coal and the resource I want to process, and they will put it inside the furnace. So as you can see, I have this massive line that will bring resources to the furnace. On the other side, we will have inserters that grab the output of the furnace, and that will put it on the belt, and this belt will bring the resources for another machine to process, right? And there it is. These are only 24 furnaces. I believe that I can go all the way up to 48. Now let's grab the setup right here and let's bring them all the way up here. And this is where I will have my processing area. I kind of want to put my setup right here, but I don't want to put my setup right here because we have coal, and I will absolutely use and abuse this resource deposit. Well, we could use that area later for something else. Maybe for uranium. Alright, now we also need, this is for example for copper. Obviously we are going to double the setup, one for copper, one for iron. And one thing I usually like to leave a few spaces. Maybe I need belts, maybe I need something going on there. So I usually leave a few spaces, right, like so. Alright, so now that we have these blueprints and I don't want to ruin them, we need a lot of belts and quite a few furnaces to get this up and running. But in order to get this up and running, as some of you may have already seen, we need electricity because we are using electric poles. So the first way we can get energy is very simple. We get water, we use water in the boiler, and we also use coal in the boiler to make steam, and in the steam engine we can make some electricity. So that is what I'm going to do. Alright, here we go. We got an offshore pump. By the way, I think I'm going to use this bit of land right here, and I think I'm going to use this as my energy processing setup. Alright, so this will be the setup, right? This will bring coal. I will need some of these bad boys right here. So I think the next step is get this setup up and running. I will probably make a few electric drills to get enough coal. Yeah, I think they'll be fine, right? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are making improvements. No more burner drills for coal. We now have a simple setup up here. Let me show you. We have 2 electric mining drills that will soon be mining coal and putting it in the wooden chests. But in order to do that, I need to place fuel in my boilers. And now we should have electricity. Hell yes! Alright, but now we can start thinking about the setup. But we will need 1,000,000 transport belts to do that. And I also want to bring this coal all the way up to the boilers, so I don't have to put coal on the boilers myself. And we really need to automate this process. It is very important because if we run out of electricity, it could be a massive disaster. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the setup is complete. And for anyone wondering, like, what the hell is going on? I don't understand. This is too complicated. It's actually very simple. So I have these two electric mining drills mining coal. The coal is transported through the belts to the boilers. These inserters right here grab coal from the belt and they put it inside the boiler. The boiler with coal and water creates steam. The steam is then used inside the steam engine to produce electricity. So now with this setup, what we want to do next is we want to automate the process of mining copper and iron and to transform the copper and the iron in like iron plates. So now all we need is a bunch of furnaces. And by the way, I won't go for 48 early on. I will go probably for like 6, 12, something like that. Probably 6. And now we also have the coal from these two electric mining drills. I will probably need a lot more to supply the boilers and to supply a few furnaces down here, but it's fine. We have space. We can expand. It's okay, right? And some of you may be asking, well, what the hell, but what happened to these electric mining drills? Before, I was using a different type of mining drill. I was using a burner mining drill, which requires coal to operate. These new electric mining drills require electricity from the previous setup that I explained, right? All right, so now our furnaces have enough coal and they are ready to run. My only problem is that I don't have iron here. So right now I will probably supply iron by hand. But later down the road, I want to automatically mine the iron and I want to bring the iron all the way up. All right, another very important thing that I need to start doing right now is research. So for research, we will need a lab. By the way, labs need electricity. And then we will need these science packs. And now I need to go over here and I need to research something. The first thing I'm going to research is logistics because this is very important. The underground belts are very, very interesting and we will be using them very, very soon, and also splitters. So let's just go for this research. And in the meanwhile, our furnaces need iron. So what I will be doing, I will be making a few electric mining drills and I will start thinking about making conveyor belts, transport belts I mean, all the way up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have finished the logistics. Yes, it was the logistics one. And now we have underground belts. And what underground belts allow me to do is this. So basically what these do is I can basically teleport resources from one place to another without occupying space. And with this, our setup is complete. Look at it, it's majestic. So now our furnaces are consuming iron and coal and they are producing iron plates. So the next few things I'm going to research are stone walls for defense, right? And automation. I should have researched automation first. Another thing I've been working as well is the copper processing stuff. Another thing we can use is the splitter, and the splitter is very important because it basically splits one transport belt. So I can use a splitter here to bring coal all the way up and down. So now my copper processing station, let's call it, already has coal. All right, so now I need to bring electricity all the way down here. But the worst part is I will need to bring a copper belt, a transport belt with copper, all the way up there. That is not very good. And there we go. Look at this beautiful line of copper coming in. Now what I need to do, I need to start thinking about a very special resource, steel. So in order to create steel, we need to first smelt iron into iron plates, and then we need to smelt iron plates into steel. So what ends up happening is that we will need an extra line of furnaces, and that right here, that is my setup for, I mean, this is a pretty common setup. This is not my setup, let's be honest. This is absolutely not my setup, but this is the setup I used in my first playthrough, and I think it's a great setup. Now, a very cool thing is that we can bring these copper plates right here, where we can start crafting automatically through these assembly machines, right? So let me show you how it works. For example, let's say we want to craft, what the hell do we want to craft? Right, transport belts. To create transport belts, we will need iron plates, and we will also need iron gear wheels. So for that, we will need another assembly machine, like so. So let me explain the setup. Here, we will produce iron gear wheels, and this inserter right here will grab iron plates from the belt and will place the iron plates in the first assembly machine that is going to craft iron gear wheels for us. This second inserter right here will grab the iron gear wheels and will place them in the second assembly machine. And the second assembly machine will also receive iron plates from the transport belt. So as you can see, iron plates from here to here, iron gear wheels from here to here, and here we will produce our transport belts. Now, a very interesting thing we can do is this. So basically now we have an infinite setup of transport belts until the wooden chest is full. That will take quite a long time. Alright, a very important process I need to automate is research. It is crucial I get this thing right, but because research is such a big component and a big important part of this game, right now I won't go for like a crazy setup. Let's go for a small, simple setup to get this thing up and running and to get rid of the first few research, right? So this is what we're going to do. We are going to quickly automate the first science bag, and it's very simple, right? Alright, so very simple setup. To automate the first science bag, it's very simple. You need one assembly machine producing iron gear wheels, which require iron plates, and you also need copper plates, right? It is very, 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 very simple. And there we go. We have automated our first research. Now, let me be 100% clear, right? This setup is absolutely terrible. This is not good what I'm doing. This type of mentality and this type of planning will lead to loads of problems later down the road. Like, this is really bad. One thing I need to start thinking about is a main bus. And we will probably get into that in the next episode. But basically, a main bus, it's like a line of resources. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's episode. I hope you liked the video. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe you learned something from me. I doubt it though. I doubt it. I really do. But yeah, I'm really excited for this playthrough. I hope I can make things right, because there's a few things in my first playthrough that I didn't get right, and I want to get that stuff right in this playthrough. I want to get the perfect base, which will probably be impossible, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. I hope you liked the video. Give it a like. If you enjoyed, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.